Okay, well, I just watched the third installment of the John Wick series. I know it's just fun entertainment or whatever. Anyway, I just thought I'd give my thoughts just briefly. It's the trouble with John Wick is he's too indestructible, and his enemies are not really worthy. You see, take James Bond for example. Remember, James Bond had Jaws. See, the way you construct a movie for an action film, the bad guy, the first thing you do is you've got to have a bad guy, but a dangerous, scary bad guy. You've got to be intimidating. You go, oh my God. So you need some set-up scenes to show how bad he is. Like in Bruce Lee's Enter the Dragon had Bolo. And I forget what he did. I forget what he did, but I remember, first of all, he's physically hugely intimidating. And the same thing with Jaws and James Bond and Odd Job and, Rocky with Rocky, the one with the Russian, even the black guy, Mr. T, of course. These are intimidating. You've got to be intimidated. So when the final confrontation happens, you've got to go, oh my God, he's finished. It's always got to start off like, oh no, our hero is in big trouble now. And James Bond, I'm trying to think of another example. No, we're going to come up with some good ones, So, number one, you set up some scenes showing how dangerous the bad guy is. He's got to physically look dangerous. So you look at him and go, wow, he's scary. And then when the final confrontation happens, you're like, oh, gee, I don't know if our hero can do it. What the hell is he going to do? And it always starts off with our hero getting his head kicked in. And suddenly, of course, right at the end, and Sean Connery was great at this because he genuinely looked worried in the big fight scenes. It's like, I don't know, how was he going to... He looked overwhelmed and struggling, and then eventually he used his wits. It wasn't just sheer strength and power, it was his wits. And even Bruce Lee, he used some trick, whether it's a martial arts trick, and you know what I mean? And the trouble with John Wick is the bad guy, there's no really intimidating bad guys. I think John Wick 2 had this Asian dude, a big Asian guy in the street. But he was just like, lost in the crowd of all the people trying to kill him. But I remember thinking, that guy could have been a fantastic villain, like a sumo wrestler type of guy. He looked like, whoa, scary. So if they just had they could have been an interesting character. And in John Wick 2, there was the black guy who, I didn't know, the bouncer kind of looking dude. And it was like, I don't know, they sort of knew each other. And then it was just a fight like any other, but except that the fight went on and on and on. The black guy wasn't losing. And then you sort of had to go mid-fight, sort of go, oh, I guess this guy's really, really extra tough. But by then, it's half the fight's nearly over, and he's thinking, well, and also there was no point where John Wick looked totally, struggling. So that's the main problem with the John Wick series. There's no big, scary, big boss. The boss scene, the boss monster. The Doom reference, the cyber demon. You look at this thing, oh my God, I'm fucked. What am I going to do now? And then suddenly you've got to use your wits and try to use all the skills which you thought were pretty good so far. Anyway, I've made my point. It's the other problem is, I don't know how tall Keanu Reeves is, but see, he's a lot of times, because I was watching the fight scene with the two Asian dudes stabbing him, and a lot of it took place like on the ground, and obviously it's because I looked up to it, I thought, oh yeah, because they're short, and it didn't quite look right. This big, I don't know how tall Keanu Reeves is, but you can't really, the hero has to be the guy the everyday guy that survives against greater odds, not the two little guys with the knives. And okay, they had knives, but still, it's See, it was Bruce Lee. That's what makes Bruce Lee that fantastic, because he looked like a little... Obviously, he had muscles and everything, but a lot of people had muscles. But it was more the way he moved and his skill and his... but it's just amazing watching all this power come out of this little guy. And Jackie Chan also like a little, isn't it? You know. And also this is why I never liked Steven Seagal. Steven Seagal looks like the big thug. You know. But anyway. The other thing also is that I mean, I don't know much about injuries, but I think I remember someone saying that if you get stabbed, it's a serious thing. You need bed rest for weeks. It's like a big deal. So it's not like a cut, you know, like a scrape. And the same goes for getting hit by a car. You know, and I mean, come on, man. The guy gets stabbed, and I know it's a movie. We're supposed to stretch our idea of what is possible, but this is ridiculous. The guy's getting stabbed in the stomach. He got stabbed in the shoulder. He got shot, and it's like, oh yeah, it's just like slight strain. Just walk it off. You know, hit by a car twice, I think. So, I mean, come on, is he indestructible? Whatever. So that was what bothered me about this. It stopped. Look, it's very entertaining. Look, on the positives, very entertaining. Very. The action just keeps going on and on. So there's no, and beautiful looking, beautifully lit. The art direction is fantastic, especially this third one. They had this red, a lot of red, bright red lights here and there, accentuating the scene. And of course they do the shiny wet ground pavement to make the lights look fantastic. And so beautifully shot, beautifully looking. Yeah, so anyway, that's my little nitpicking thing of things that I thought stopped it being truly, you know, how tall is he? Couldn't he find big opponents? And the other thing bugged me. In this one was they had too many women in charge. There was the woman, the Russian woman that was just like, oh yeah, she's in charge of everything. And next thing you know, the adjudicator, whatever, comes in with that humorless transgender wanker with this pretentious, trying to look tough, which just looked annoying and pompous. And I wanted to get shot. I hate that chick. I hated her in Billions as well. Smug and Miss Perfect, a special alien creature who's not even a human being, which of course is ironic. I think it's a little bit anti-transgender. I don't think it's pro the cause because it's making them come across as arrogant, stuck-up, humorless freaks, aliens, autistic or whatever the word is, which means dickhead, you know, in this case. It's a little bit too cocky, too smug. I mean, I know she's an actress. I'm obviously not talking about this person personally. But I hope that she gets better roles. The chicks, the chicks, there's some things in it which break. See, the trouble with something stylistically, what's the word? Stylistic, is it does break realism, just becomes this movie magic, and certain things which just were a bit silly. One is the telephone, whenever he gave orders, there was the women in the telephone exchange with the tattoos, which looked a bit silly. It's kind of like, oh yes, that's appealing. It's really cool, man. But I mean, all right, it's cool, and I suppose it's interesting, but at the same time makes you think. It's a constant reminder of, oh, it's just a film. Or it's just a bit of fun. Don't take it seriously. So you lack that, you know what I mean? Because you know, what's his name? John Wick's not going to die. So it's just like, oh yeah, let's just get, looking at your watch, going, how much is left in the movie? Oh, another fight scene. Again, what standard do you hold it up to? what is the ultimate thing, I suppose, Enter the Dragon. I'm trying to think, what's the ultimate action film? Mad Max. Is Mad Max action? I don't know, it's got more depth. Anyway, that's about it. So, God, this went on for longer than I thought. So, what have I covered? He's too tall. He's too indestructible. Oh, yeah, this are the women. So, there's the Russian woman who's at the top, and then you had the adjudicator chick in charge, and then you had Halle Berry in charge. Wasn't she like some woman at the top or something? Was there another one? But it got a bit monotonous, like, oh yeah, here we go. And she shot him? I mean, you know. And it's going to go on and on now. So it's a bit annoying. Not annoying, sorry, I didn't mean that. I meant it's a bit like, oh, okay, more of the same. But, anyway, yeah, that's it. What can you compare it with? Right, thanks guys, and see you later.